Good evening, my viewers. This is George Ondek with the latest edition of the George Ondek Show. Tonight we have a change. Due to many of your requests, they said, George, how come you've never had any pets or animals on your show? And you know, I thought of that as being a very good idea. After all, I can remember Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show running into Ed McMahon's arms as a cheetah was chasing him on the show. So tonight I'm very honored to have a show called Paws for Love. Now don't get us wrong, this isn't a romantic show. It's a show about an organization that started in Cortland, New York in
1999.
And it's called PAW, Paws for Love.
Paws for Love.
And tonight I'm very honored to have Susan Haywood with me. Now that's not Susan Haywood, the great TV actress,
no.
but Susan Haywood, who is a volunteer for Paws for Love, and she works at New York Medical Center.
At Westchester Medical Center.
Westchester Medical Center. Susan, could you tell us a little bit about the organization, how it got started, and who you have with you here tonight?
Well, Paws for Love, we started because there's a great need to try and find homes for abandoned cats, stray cats, unneutered that have kittens. And we just wanted to help curb all the kittens being born and help find homes for the strays. Oh, this one's crying.
Now, I understand the little kittens you have with you today. You have two of them.
Right.
And you basically keep them unnamed.
Yes.
But today you have two lovely kittens with you. And I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you want to name them? And then if anyone's watching this show and wants to adopt them, they could write me in at George Ondek, 31 Winchester Avenue, Peekskill, New York, and they may be able to adopt them or by contacting your organization.
That's correct.
So what do you think would be a good name for this beautiful black kitten that you have right now?
Giorgio.
Giorgio?
Giorgio, after
That
George.
sounds original. Sounds like an Italian name.
Well, and he also will be going to PetSmart. We hold adoptions at PetSmart every Sunday from 11:30 to 2:30. So, and that's where we bring the cats and kittens for adoption. It's the one in Cortland Town Center.
Right, that's right up on Route 6 in Cortland, right?
Right. So PetSmart gives us a spot there on Sundays, and we bring our adoptable cats and kittens there.
Now tell me, is it a non-for-profit organization?
All volunteer.
Who is the president or director of it?
Terry Portis is our executive director. She's been in animal rescue for many years, but this is her first venture on her own where she started the group.
I understand she's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I got to know about her through a good friend of mine, Rich Carey from Peekskill, who has 9 cats and 3 parrots, and said she was a wonderful person who was looking to get homeless cats adopted.
Right.
So is that the goal of the organization?
Oh, to get them adopted and to spay-neuter.
To spay-neuter.
Right. There's a lot of cats, unadoptable cats, what people refer to as ferals, that are kind of born outside, really haven't been touched by people, and are just very afraid.
Is a feral, and what does that mean, feral cat?
Feral means it's never had any human contact. The only thing it gets from humans is food.
Oh, little Giorgio is meowing at you there.
I know.
He looks so cute.
He's purring up a storm.
People don't know this about me, but I'm a cat lover. We presently have a cat at home named Phantom that we've had for 6 years. He's a calico cat with a black mask across his face, and that's how we came to name him Phantom. We also had a cat for 18 years, my wife and I, named Freddie, who looked like Sylvester on Sylvester and Tweety, the cartoons.
That's a great.
And the saddest day of my life was when we had to put him to sleep because he was very sick and very old.
Right.
But getting back to the organization, so you get these kittens and cats adopted.
Right.
Is that the mission of the...
Oh, yes, Ed. to get them adopted and to make sure every cat that comes into our group is spayed and neutered. And we try to assist people who are feeding what I refer to as feral cats, cats that really are not adoptable, just because you feel compassion for them. Ow.
What's he doing there? Is he having a little nibble on your finger?
Because
and he's actually nibbling on the microphone from what I hear from my producer.
He's got a lot of personality, little Giorgio.
Giorgio.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's a tremendous thing when you can have a cat who is an outdoor cat adopted, because I hear the lifespan of an average outdoor cat is only 2 or 3 years.
Yes, yeah, it's best to keep cats inside. You know, they really, there's too much out there they can get in trouble with between cars. Cats are nocturnal. They like to be out at night, but that's also when raccoons are out, coyotes in this area. So there's a lot working against
one of the
them.
worst things that are out are cars.
Yes,
you know, they cross the street and they get hit by a car. You know,
and like I said, they're out at night, and they do get in a lot of trouble.
I imagine it takes a little money to do some of the things you do.
Oh, yes.
What are some of the ways Paws for Love raises money to take care of the cats and get them adopted?
Well, we have 2 tag sales a year. One in
Tag
the spring,
sales?
Yes. One in the spring and one in the fall. And we usually hold it at the Portis residence, right off 202.
What is the address of the Portis residence?
6 Shipley Drive. We advertise in the Penny Saver all the time.
6 Shipley Drive,
Right.
Cortland, New York?
Right.
Okay.
People that have adopted, people that have donated, people we've helped with stray or feral cats. You know, they all go on our mailing list, and
Giorgio
everyone
seems
knows.
to like your hair there.
He does, he does. He's a real good
So
personality.
people can see how playful a kitten can be.
To foster, that's one of our biggest needs, is getting foster families, so we don't have to keep cats and kittens in cages, that we can have them go into a home and be part of the home.
And I understand in little less than 3 years, you're doing a tremendous job. You've had something like 400 cats and kittens adopted.
Right, 400 cats and kittens, spayed and neutered about 300. And some cats come to us already spayed or neutered. Stray cats that when we bring them to the vet, we find out they've already been spayed or neutered. But our cats get a good checkup. They get tested for communicable feline diseases. They get vaccinated. They get a physical. Dr. Moss and his staff at Northwestchester Veterinary work with us. They're just wonderful.
Now, I understand there's a couple of days that you're at the Walmart store in Cortland.
We're not at the Walmart store where we are.
Or the PetSmart store.
PetSmart.
Oh, excuse me.
PetSmart is Sundays, every Sunday. And
from what time to what time?
From 11:30 to 2:30. And Wednesdays, we're there every other Wednesday. We were there this past Wednesday.
Now, the cats are there at all the time? All the time?
No.
Oh,
we
okay.
bring them there.
Only when you're there?
Right.
And what were the
Wednesdays
2
and
times that you're there?
Wednesday from 4 to 7, and Sundays from 11:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon.
Now, if people who are watching the show either want to adopt some cats or kittens or want to volunteer their services, is there a phone number they can
Yes,
reach?
we have a main number for Paws for Love.
Okay.
He's eating the microphone
Oh,
again.
try to keep him away from the mic, okay?
Yes,
'Cause
I'm
otherwise
sorry, honey. I'm
people
sorry.
won't hear about the good things we want to do for
That's
him.
right.
And his brother, who you have. What's his brother's name, or what do you want to name his brother who you have
His
with
brother's name is Stephen.
Stephen. Oh,
Stephen.
that's a nice
What's
one.
the matter? You want to go back inside for a little while?
Maybe he wants to go back inside. and you
Now
wanna
look at this. Who wouldn't want to foster?
Oh, he's
or
so
adopt
adorable.
somebody with such a sweet personality, disposition.
And you know, Many people don't think cats are affectionate.
Oh.
They think they have to have a dog, to have a dog lying on their lap or lying at their feet.
Right.
I can tell from personal experience, cats are very lovable.
Very lovable.
They enjoy you coming home at night. After you finish dinner, they may hop up on your lap and watch TV with you.
That's right, that's right. And many studies have shown that just petting a cat lowers your blood pressure.
You know, I would think, and you are in the heart division at the hospital,
That's
so you
right.
would know a little bit about
That's
that.
right.
Is that a medical fact that?
Well, they've done many studies. I don't know that they've been done by doctors per se, but I know there's studies done. The Times had an article back in May about the benefits of fostering and the benefits of owning a pet. You know, people tend to have a more content life, and they're a great stress reducer. And at the same time, you're doing something good.
And Susan, let's talk about a lonely senior citizen who's home all alone, who may have lost a mate or something. What kind of a companion is a cat to someone like that?
An excellent companion. They're really, seniors would make excellent foster families. Also, we have a senior-to-senior program where if a senior wants to adopt one of our older cats, we don't charge any fee. We're just happy to get the older cat into a home. Of course, everyone wants the kittens.
When you mention an older cat, how old is an older cat?
6, 7, you know, it's not really old,
Yes.
but to people, they really tend to think that's old.
Yeah,
in a
because I
cat,
understand
but they
in
can live
cat's
till-
life, I understand in cat's life that could be 6 or 7 years to a human's life.
That's
so-
right. They can live to be 20 years old, a cat. But when people are looking, we do have people who know the benefits of an older cat. They've had kittens and cats, and they'll come looking not just for a kitten.
And I understand little children seem to like kittens
Oh,
and
yes,
cats very
yes,
much.
but they, very small children really need to be supervised.
That is
with
true.
very tiny animals.
course,
They
cats-
think they're a stuffed animal, you
Cats
know.
are very intelligent
Yes, yes.
beings.
Right.
I happen to know that a little child once went near a cat that I had and sort of mishandled him a little
Right,
bit.
right.
And that cat to this day knows that when that child
When a
comes, he
short
goes,
human comes around, you have to watch out. But they just need to be supervised, you know. Toddlers and kittens, you know, not meaning to, but, you know, can hurt the kitten.
Sure, without
or the
realizing
kitten
it.
playing may scratch the, you know, the young child. But as long
Yes.
as they're supervised.
why is it important for a cat to be neutered?
Because of the overpopulation, number one reason. People will say, my cat's never going to go out. I keep it inside. It doesn't need to be spayed or neutered. Cats get out. Cats get lost. Repairmen come to the house. You have a flood in the kitchen, and everyone's running around. Animals do get out. They get lost. And they are very prolific creatures.
I understand they can have 3 litters in a
3
year,
litters,
a female
yep,
cat?
within 1 year.
And many people may not know that, but there's about 200 million people in America, and there's
Right.
about 60 million cats.
Right. One female cat, if she's not spayed, between her and her offspring, can have somewhere about, I think it's 20,000 cats altogether within 4 years, 4 to 5 years, if I'm quoting that, but it's in the thousands.
If a person has a cat, how often should they take them to the veterinarian?
You really need to have your cat checked once a year by the vet. It needs to have its rabies, and it needs to have, whoops, see.
Oh, maybe
There we go
Giorgio
again.
wants to go away.
I think Giorgio
He seems
has
to wanna
something to
eat
say.
He seems to want to eat that microphone.
He's saying, "Don't make them take me to the vet." No, they need their vaccinations yearly. They should see their vet, you know, at least once a year.
About how many people do you have volunteering for Paws for Love?
About 20 to 30. A lot of people just do our fundraising. They help with tag sales. There's a lot of preparation, getting the items out. And then at Christmas time, we do wreaths. And that's a lot of preparation to get the wreaths ready.
In other words, you make wreaths and you sell them, and the proceeds go towards
Towards taking care of the cats. Our biggest expense, of course, is veterinary care, and then there's food, litter,
and getting them their
medicines,
shots
getting them
prior
their
to
shot.
adoption.
Yep.
So I understand there is a small fee for adopting
Yes,
a kitten.
we normally charge $60 to adopt an adult, and it's $65 for a kitten. And the state now requires that people give a deposit of $35 in addition. Once the cat's spayed or neutered, they get that back. It's a new state law that they have to make sure that cats are getting spayed and neutered.
Now, I understand you just have a little promotion going on now for the next week or two in order to raise some funds.
Right.
Did someone donate Giants, New
One
York
of
football
our-
Giant tickets?
Right. One of our volunteers has a friend who works within the Giant organization.
The football Giants?
Right, New York football, and she donated to our group Giant tickets, and we're raffling them off. We're doing very well with it so far. We're going to have the drawing August 14th at PetSmart when we're there for adoption, and we notify the winner by phone. But
So if anybody wanted to
wonderful.
buy a couple of those chances?
They could give a call. We're actually selling them at our adoption days also.
And when again were those adoption
This
days?
Sunday again from 11:30 to 2:30. And we're at PetSmart every Sunday.
And-
If we're not, it's in the Penny Saver.
And what day does that raffle go off on?
The raffle will be drawn August 14th. That's a Wednesday.
A Wednesday?
Yeah. So they have till August 13th or 14th to get their tickets. It's for any home game. Nobody has to come to a particular game. Any home game at Giant Stadium.
And right now I hear you don't have a formal place where you keep the cats, that the volunteers might keep one or two or three cats
Right,
in your
and we
home
have people
till
who-
they're adopted.
Right, till we get them adopted. Kittens, a lot of times, when they're eating on their own is when we see them, or people first see the appearance of kittens. And then when they come to us, we have to wait till they're 9 weeks old before they can be tested for AIDS and leukemia. Cats get a feline AIDS and feline leukemia, which is contagious. So we have to make sure they're tested before we put them up for adoption.
Susan, we're about 20 minutes into the show, and Giorgio has been the big star
I
kid.
know, I think we have to
Can
get-
we switch him now with,
Yes.
with Stephen,
That's
I think
right,
you said?
little
Because we
Stevie.
want my vast audience to see Stephen, and
Stephen,
maybe
Billy,
they'll call and
baby.
adopt him as well, you know?
Is Stevie coming out?
Does Stevie want to come out?
Come on, Stevie.
And you say they're brothers, huh?
Yeah, they came in the same litter. They
Now, I
were
saw the way you picked him up. You picked him up by the back of his neck.
just like the mom
I understand
does.
the mother cat
yeah,
picks them
and the
up.
tail goes right up.
And look at his eyes and ears go straight up.
Yeah, yeah. They were pretty sick. They had what's common in kittens or cats on the outside who are homeless is upper respiratory,
by the
but they're
way,
doing wonderful.
Isn't he a lovely cat?
Yeah.
He reminds me again of our first cat, Freddie, who looked like Sylvester. He had white paws like that and sort of black.
And the other one's crying. Why did I get put back?
Well, that's because he wants to be the star, you know.
Oh, there's so much
His brother's taking a little airtime away from him.
Right, to watch
They're
them
communicating
play.
right now.
Well, I think he's communicating with me and saying, put me back up on your lap.
And you know, cats aren't very demanding. They want a little bit to eat,
That's
right?
it.
Once or twice a day, and they sleep about 20 hours
That's
a day.
right. They don't require the care that dogs do.
And I don't want to be known as anti-dog or anything,
Right.
but you don't have to take them out on a cold winter morning.
Right. That's why they're easy to foster. And they're just, we pay all expenses when people foster. We pay for the food, the litter. We, get them to adoption. And it's just such a wonderful thing to do. They're just so much fun to watch.
Looks like Stevie is vocal there. He's communicating
Yes.
with his brother, and wondering where his
He's
brother
watching,
went,
he's
right?
watching.
How, do you know how big of a litter they came from?
There were 5 of them.
5 of them.
5. And they were, like I said, they were sick. They had upper respiratory, but they're just really thriving. You put them down, they run around, they play together.
Susan, to me, you sound like a very caring person. You donate your time for this.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. I mean, all the people, the majority of people that are in the group are working people. And we do have a few retired people. But, yeah, you can't ignore them.
And in your organization,
they're all over.
I think you told me there are no paid people, they're all volunteers?
No salaried people.
That's really fantastic.
Yes.
It means that 100% of whatever a person donates to you goes for the care of the cats.
Totally for the care of the cats.
And did you also tell me it's tax deductible?
That's right. That's right. We're a registered charity, and any donation you make is tax deductible.
And Susan, on my show, I usually like my guests to be known for what they do in their life besides what they're on the show for.
Mm-hmm.
How many years have you been a nurse at
30 years.
And again, where are you?
At the Westchester Medical Center.
And that's in the heart division, right?
Correct.
In the
Correct.
OR room?
In the operating room and the cardiac cath lab.
Can you give my viewers a little tip on how to keep a healthy heart?
How to keep a healthy heart? Exercise. Very
Diet.
important. Diet is very important. Blood pressure control. Cholesterol control.
Not Dunkin' Donuts.
Not
right?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Darn, I'm going to have to get off that.
That's where I met George.
Actually,
Dunkin'
we don't want
Donuts.
to do any plugs here.
No.
But you told me before the show that the Weight Watchers diet is an excellent
Yeah, I
diet
find
for
that's
your heart.
Yes.
It keeps the weight down.
Right.
Oh,
and
looks like we have some other creatures joining the show. Something to make the cat interesting. I saw a fly
That's
going
right.
by.
Oh, they'll catch a fly.
Oh, they're very good at
Right,
that. In fact, anything comes in the house, a cat, within a second, you know about it. You know?
We have some cats that are, oh my goodness, he's very upset.
Yeah.
That really would not make good house pets. They're just been outside too long and never really handled by people. But it's what we refer to as barn cats. Stables in the area, or people with farms or sheds, or have a big piece of property, want to keep the mice down. A barn cat's excellent.
Susan, we only have about 5 minutes left in the show. Could you tell me a little bit more about the executive director of the program and how she got it, Paws for Love, started?
Well,
and how you became involved with it?
Well, Terry, I guess the way I got involved with it was taking walks, seeing stray cats, and really having no avenue to go to except for the shelter. Briarcliff Shelter is excellent, but they are so limited on space a lot of times. And I was feeding 2 female cats that were pregnant, and all of a sudden I had 2 cats and 13 kittens. And it was Terry who took them in.
Terry, what's her last
Portis.
name? Portis.
And
she's a lovely person.
Yes.
Very caring.
Right.
You know?
And all the moms got spayed, vaccinated, tested, they got adopted, and all the 13 kittens got adopted.
And we're here on August 1st. It's the 5th day outside that it's been over 90 degrees. Can you imagine how horrible it must be for a stray cat?
Yes.
I mean, I wonder where they get
Fresh
water to drink.
Well, cats, you know, you don't have to go far. Anywhere there's a dumpster, apartment complex, they're nocturnal, like I said, and in the evening you will see them. You know, they really don't come out much during the day, but they're there. You know, they're there, and there's a lot of them, and we just want to get them, the adoptable ones, into homes, and everybody spayed and neutered. Many people have pets that aren't spayed and neutered,
you know,
and it's amazing.
Cats have even made it into the White House.
That's right.
I just thought in the aside, President Clinton had a cat named
right.
Paws.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it Paws?
I don't know. Was
Well,
it
I actually
Paws?
forget the name. And I thought of a lot of them because of that, but I sort of got disappointed that the day he left the White House, he
Right.
turned his cat over to his secretary
Right.
and took his dog home with him to
That's
Chappaqua,
right,
you know?
Yeah. People sometimes, when you adopt a cat, we make people realize this is going to be a commitment
Sure, because once
for
you
up
have
to
a
20
cat,
years, you know.
yeah, he becomes one of the family,
Right.
actually.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
And
And
I've
it's-
heard some people feel sadder when their cat passes away than when a family member
Well, that's
passes
true.
away sometimes.
That's true, yeah,
That's
it's hard.
how attached they've become to them.
Oh, my goodness, he's getting so upset.
And Giorgio wants to come out.
Yes.
Why don't we bring him up on
Yeah,
your
we'll
lap?
bring him up
We're
one
just
more
about
time.
to end the show. There's about 2 minutes
I
left.
also want people to realize spaying and neutering your cats are healthier. There's no roaming. It's totally to their benefit to have them spayed and neutered.
And again, Susan, if someone wants to adopt these two lovely kittens, how should they get in contact
Well,
with you?
there's, I don't know if they're able to put the phone number up.
Yes, they are.
They could call there and.
What was that number again?
You're going to ask me. I don't
Okay,
know.
that'll be put up by my director.
Right.
And it'll be on the air. It's on the screen
Oh,
right now.
excellent, thank you.
But
Yes,
I-
you can call. You can always check the Penny Saver when we're going to be at PetSmart, or any upcoming events are always in the Penny
But
Saver.
Susan, we're just about at the end of the
Okay.
show. I want to thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you
George
for having
Ondek
us
Show
on.
tonight, and have you and your lovely cats in
Right.
the Ondek Circle.
Yeah.
My viewers, I look forward to seeing you again next week.
Mm-hmm.
This has been George Ondek with Paws for Love. If there are any of you dog owners out there and would like equal time, and you have an adorable dog or a dog adoption agency, feel free to contact me at 31 Winchester Avenue. And again, this has been the George Ondek Show, Paws for Love. It's not a bad idea, you know?
Adopting or fostering, either one. Sometimes people aren't sure that they want a cat. Fostering is a great way. You're not committed, and you can see how it works.
Susan, I once again thank you for coming by.
Thank you, George, for having us.